Up next, we've got Ryan O'Flaherty. Audio up. I don't know if there's audio. First read. Let's go.
Yeah, I really like the idea for this one. Like the fact that he's playing like baseball with himself. It's very Echo. I had one small thing about when he comes out of the portal. It feels a little flaily. Like it's like whoa, whoa, and then he comes down very linearly like that. Like see if you watch. I don't know. It doesn't feel as cool as it could. Like he could just teleport and then already be going into the swing pose, ready for it, and so you can hold that a little longer. It feels just a little flaily, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like, yeah.
Like maybe he could be hitting a slightly cooler area pose, and then these sort of limbs coming out are a little bit like quicker, so it's more of like a fast
Yeah,
distortion into like the cool pose before
because
the
he's
head.
doing this purposely, right? Like he's teleporting on purpose, but it looks like he's being dragged into it accidentally. But with Echo, right, you activate it yourself, right? I mean, I'm going into League gameplay now, but but I just mean like he activates it himself, right? He's not like being dragged into a portal and then he's like, "Whoa, what just happened?" So I feel like as a character moment, it could have felt a bit more intentional. Yeah, but yeah, overall, really nice.
Getting some crazy shapes. Like I know the limitations of that rig. Like how sort of elastic you're able to make him feel like smooth through this big spiraling motion is very nice.
Oh yeah.
So the one thing I want to call out is this end pose here, pachow, and I want to thank you for hitting it. We watched a lot of entries, and a lot of entries actually. We'll talk about this more later. Featured Echo in the pose with the bat on his shoulders, and going into it by ending, landing that way. And so many were very, very soft through that pose, and I feel like this one was immediately very appealing because you lean into the fact that he's hitting himself. I mean, he reacts to it, but it's not like a violent thing. It just feels like the weight of that thing is tangible. How he's reacting to it feels intentional and cool. And I just really feel like you like nailed the personality on it. Good amount of settle. Feels good.
Yeah, it's like the perfect balance of like casual cool.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Just really quick, I think on this bit where he reveals the ball here, he could have maybe had like an open hand here, and then he sort of grips the ball next to the camera, just so it draws a little bit more attention to it. Because the fact that it's already in, it doesn't. It's like the motion needs to pop for a second, then you're like, oh, he's got a ball in his hand. I feel like having the hand open as it comes into this and then close would just give it that little bit of motion where it draws your attention to it over everything else. Like, oh, he's got a ball there, like he's just gripped it, sort of thing. Like it's just appeared. I think that would be a nice opportunity to do it because you just have this hand so close to the camera here. Having it come in open and then close would just be a nice little bit of motion that sells that. But overall, yeah, I totally agree with what Adam said as well about him. When he comes out here, it feels like he's not. He's like, whoa, what happened? But he should be used to this magic now. He does it all the time. So coming out with a bit more style would definitely have been a little bit cooler at the end there. But overall, it's really cool. And I love this pose here. Lovely S curve. Great.
One thing that I was going to say was just like on this throw, the first two times I watched it, the ball changes shapes a bunch, and it totally stole my attention from what Echo was doing. I didn't even see Echo because I was like, why is the ball doing that? What's going on here? And then I was like, oh, Echo's there. Oh, cool, okay. But it completely stole my attention with the ball being all wonky shaped. So I don't know. I don't think it's necessary because Echo is doing something so cool here. Like I just want my attention to see what's going on with him.
Yeah. Makes the ball feel like it's made of a very strange material. Like that. It's got like that really elastic feeling, but I feel like maybe having like a tighter curve on that so you get a little bit of it without having to see it as much as we see that, and maybe just feeling the fact that there's like some reverberation in it.
We put so much spin on the ball that it is shifting oblongly. It's a hacky sack.
Right.
I also saw in the chat some folks mentioning that you don't think Echo had face controls. I don't think most of the rigs had face controls. And two things, we understand. When we didn't see facial animation, I don't think any of us were like, what the hell is this? Because we've animated those rigs and we don't usually animate to this camera, but we do understand why there are no face controls. So don't worry about that. Everybody did great with what they had. And also now you know.
Another tiny little thing is right here when he swings this bat. I almost wish it pulled away from him just a couple of frames earlier so you see the start of this swing, or like maybe have the bat still like stretched and wrapped around him so you can really feel it like come from behind him and then slap the shit out of his ball. But because I almost lose the start of that swing. Like you see it start, but you're so in tight you lose the start of it. And I think I feel like it misses just a little bit of power that could be added back in if you had some of that shape still wrapped around behind him as he starts to swing.
I think in this moment, like you do this like cameras closing in, I feel like you could snap a little closer, a little faster. Like after you do this fancy thing and we can't see this smear anymore, I almost feel like we can get into this close up quicker than we do. And I also feel like this could kind of be, if you wanted, even like at an angle, like a little bit more dynamic than the exact like flat. I think this is like, I always think of it as like the anime tension moment, like through like close up to those eyeballs. And I feel like having like a slightly more dynamic, even if like because of how quickly you come in and out of it, you kind of hit and it stops and then it retreats. I feel like you come in quicker and like have like a little bit of a squeeze at the end and then out quickly again, as Parker said, to sort of see the rest of the swing. And if you had it at a bit of an angle, we might see more of that, the bat in the background behind his head too. Any more thoughts on this one before I push us into the next? All right, wonderful work. Ryan O'Flaherty _02 MP4. Rex in the chat. Excellent work. Wonderful. We love to see it. Beautiful Echo animation.